He's an actor. He is a producer. He's a writer. He's a director. He is something that we don't talk about on this show, apparently, too. But anyways, his name is Scott Severence, and he's here on our couch. Hello, Scott.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, love to have you, man. Glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm old.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Some people don't make
and
it.
have been pursuing a career as a theater artist for 40 years. As you said, I write, I direct, I act, I produce, and I have no other marketable skills, so I just keep doing this.
Yeah.
I went to UNH in the mid-'70s, and I remember a little bit of it, because in the mid-'70s, going to college, that's when Animal House came out, and I feel like I know all of those guys intimately. And right out of college, I started getting theater jobs, mostly as an actor. I was a member of Actors Equity, the stage union for a while. I still am a member of SAG-AFTRA, the film television actor. Yeah.
But you actually have, so you've been working in films. You have to work for films quite a bit before you can
actually, in 2005, Fever Pitch came out. Oh, yeah. Fever Pitch was a film with Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon about a Red Sox fan who can't commit to a girl because he's so in love with his team.
Isn't that the one that had to change the ending to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a featured role in it. I've got close-ups and lines, and I'm the fifth name in the credits at the end.
Wow.
And it was the first and only major film I've ever done.
Right.
I've done a bunch of background stuff. I did a small scene in Larry David's Clear History. But Fever Pitch was one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done in my life because I am a Red Sox junkie, which is how I got the role. I remember going into the audition, and I walked into the room, and there were 40 guys just like me, heavy-set, bearded Boston fans, and many of them were high-end Boston area comedians at the time, because the Farrelly the Farrellys are the guys who directed the movie, and so they called in all their stand-up comedy buddies, and I went, why am I even in this room right now? This is dumb. But when I was doing my reading for the film, one of the lines my guy was talking about all the disasters that the Red Sox have gone through, Bucky Dent, Aaron Boone, taking out Pedro too soon, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And I got a tear in my eye. And I was done doing the reading, and the casting director went, "Are you crying?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm really sorry." And she went, "No, that's a good thing." So I ended up spending 10 days filming in Fenway Park. And yes, you are correct. They were up in Toronto filming the rest of the movie, and the Red Sox were in Game 4 against the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. And one of the Farrellys turned to the other, rumor has it, and said, "They're going to wreck our movie." Because the movie ends with the Red Sox losing again, but he gets the girl. So, but if they win, the whole premise of the movie is ruined. So apparently they got in a single-engine plane with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore and one cameraman. And Fox, 20th Century Fox was the producer of the film, and Fox Television had the World Series. So I'm in my living room that night, leaping around in joy, because the Red Sox had just won the damn World Series. It was the first one, the reverse the curse.
Right,
the curse one.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like shockwaves throughout the...
And through my tears, I'm watching the screen, and I see Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore kissing on the pitcher's mound in St. Louis. And my first thought was, oh, those lucky SOBs, they must have known something. Then I went, wait a minute. I'm gonna get a phone call. And sure enough, the next morning, "Hi, we're gonna refilm the end of the movie." As if it took place in that classic Yankees series, which is how the movie now ends. And it's a better ending. He gets the girl and his team wins. But anyway, that was my long-winded story about being in the movies. The vast majority of my experience is on stage. Movie making is frankly, it's a very different animal.
Oh, yes, yeah.
It's lots of hurt and weight.
Our usual co-host, Mitch Fortier, has got like 20 years in theater or something like that. I know what you're thinking. Man, he looks way older than that. But no, it's...
Well, his name fell off.
Mitch.
No, like it surprised me that he's like 20
Mitch
years.
says
How
he's
old are you?
tearing up now, I think in reference to the Red Sox.
Yeah,
movie.
so... but Mitch has got a lot of experience on stage, and he has a lot of experience now on film. Me and Arnie's it's just entirely film. We have no experience on stage. And it's interesting we have a lot of stage guests come on because there's a lot of theaters around this area. It's always interesting hearing them talk about the difference between theater and film. And they're like, one's a grizzly bear and one's a polar bear.
Yeah.
You know?
they're sort of both artistic endeavors that have absolutely nothing to do with one another. Theater is most often rehearsed in a linear fashion, where film is all over the map, and depending on the weather and depending on when you can get locations, stuff is so much in the hand of the editor at the end.
It's remarkable. It's still surprising me that we've made movies where we film the last scene first. It's like and it's still remarkable to me that I still find that magic fun, that when I watch a movie that I was a part of and I made, and I still buy it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I still buy that this didn't happen until
What's the legendary story about De Niro in Raging Bull? He put on all the weight to play fat Jake LaMotta, and they shot all those scenes, and then he went on a crazy diet and workout regimen so he could get into boxing shape. And they took, I don't know, 4 to 5 to 6 months off so he could get back into shape.
Wow.
Because, they didn't do it digitally, like, putting the belly on Thor.
Right.
Which was obviously a fake belly, but hilarious. But because De Niro was such a method guy, he insisted on being fat for fat, out of shape, old Jake LaMotta, and then
I've heard of actors doing that. I'm like, I don't really think I'd risk my health to that extent.
the Dustin Hoffman story in Marathon Man with Laurence Olivier. Hoffman showed up on the set one day looking like death, because that was part of what his character was going through. He was forcing himself not to sleep and to be miserable. And Olivier apparently looked at him one day and said, "Why don't you try acting?"
I can just hear him say it.
Yeah,
and it's like,
what are you doing?
Well, and that to me, that's a big thing too, because obviously what you're talking about is Christian Bale and Tom Hardy actually got physical damage now to their body because of the amount of stuff that they've done. But and I can understand needing to put on and lose weight and stuff like that. Michael Madsen, I guess, was asked to take off weight for a role, and you said, "No, I'm just not taking the role." But I agree with you on that. There's a certain point where it's just like, okay, you know what? You can just act too. This is, And
it's also in theater, because it's live like this. If a mistake happens, you just roll with it.
Right.
And I've got hundreds of stories of legendary things that went wrong in shows that I was involved with, and as long as you keep smiling and tap dancing, the audience usually has no idea that a major thing just went wrong. When in film, you just go, cut, that's terrible, redo it, retake the shoot. And frequently so you're not living in your work in the moment.
No.
So theater is a much more visceral medium, and I think I like that better. And I loved wandering around Fenway Park for 10 days, basically just waiting for the next shot.
Right.
And
that's the majority of your day when you're
2 hours later, there's the next shot, and then especially in big scenes like that where they had thousands of people in the stands.
Oh,
as
sure.
extras,
The energy must have been really cool.
Yeah. We shot overnight because it was at the end of the baseball season, and we shot a couple of scenes live at games, but most of it was overnight shots with mannequins with Red Sox hats on in the back, and there were live extras closer. But for the wide shots, they needed the park to be filled, so they these very eerie.
That must have been
looking,
creepy.
Kind of half mannequins with hats and Red Sox shirts.
I just picture them with popcorn or something like that. But you've got a few productions coming up, right?
Yeah. So I have a production company called Perseverance Productions. A very clever take on my own name.
I like that. It's very good. Yeah.
Our company logo is the Sisyphus pushing the rock up to the top of the mountain, because we never do quite get it right, but we keep striving to get it right. I mean, the eternal artistic we.
You will die never finishing all your artistic endeavors. Hopefully.
Perseverance Productions was founded 3 years ago now. To continue taking out a national touring production of Christmas Carol that I had been taking out when I was the artistic director at Gene's Playhouse up in Lincoln, New Hampshire. But when I left there, the production company that was booking our tour still wanted to work with me. So we remounted the show, created a production company, Perseverance Productions, and have taken the show out now. This year will be our 6th national tour, and we're literally going coast to coast because we rehearse in Rochester, New Hampshire, and our final performances are on Puget Sound in Washington
wow.
State. 3 8-passenger SUVs and a 26-foot box truck, and we literally drive the country. This year, because Thanksgiving is late in the month of November, we're actually on the road for less than 4 weeks. Something like 20 shows in 23 days.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You must be exhausted
It's
by
epic.
the time you're
It's
done.
an epic thing. But that's my big annual project. But a couple years ago, I decided that I wanted to expand Perseverance's footprint a little bit and do more local programming. So last summer, I mounted a production of Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum at the Rochester Opera House. It was a great show. Wasn't as well attended as we would have liked, but it was the first stab at doing summer theater in Rochester for a long time. And we kind of anticipated it was going to take a while for this to catch on.
Did you play Pseudolus?
I did.
Yes.
I
Okay,
did.
you look like yes. Yeah.
I've played Pseudolus 5 times now, and I'll give you 3 seconds to guess which major musical Broadway role I've played 9 times.
I can't remember the name of the character, but the lead in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. Yeah. He's in my DNA, and I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not Jewish, but my Jewish friends say I'm an unofficial member of the tribe because of the number of times I've done Fiddler. So we came back this summer. Forum was expensive to produce, $4,500 for the royalties alone. So this year we're mounting 2 shows that are royalty free because I'm not as dumb as I look. The first show is an original USO style project called From Sea to Shining Sea. Music, comedy, and dance from the Great American War years, 1, 2, and Nam. Real friendly to old folks and vets. All the classics, White Cliffs of Dover, Long Way to
that's a good song.
Tipperary.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I mean, that kind of, that song.
Yeah.
And then we get into the Vietnam era, and we're going to do Goodnight Saigon, Billy Joel's. And we're going
Such a good song.
We're going to do a medley of a bunch of Nam era songs. We're going to sing America the Beautiful, God Bless America, Battle Hymn of the Republic. Just
Yeah.
a friendly, vet friendly. We're going to honor all vets in attendance. We're going to raise donation money for an organization called the Heart of the Traveling Soldier. So it's turned into this sort of labor of love now.
Oh my God. We are just about out of time, but you sticking around? Want to stick around for the rest of the show? or
I can.
Okay.
I
All right.
can.
Did you watch the trailers?
I did.
Okay. So do you have an opinion about them?
I thought the second one was.
Well, then hang on a second. We're going to review it next because we're just about out of time for this break. But I want to actually keep you on, if you like, for the ending segment of the show.
Yeah, you got plenty
we
to
talk
talk
about your other productions.
Yeah,
too.
because
sure.
this is just the time disappears so fast
Yeah.
sometimes, you know.
So, Mitch, we didn't miss you at all, buddy.
Yeah, not one bit.
So,